Fabio, questo è l'affido, un attimo così.
Hi, Ayşe Süberker from
Nice to meet you. Okay. Good to see you.
Please, this way, Mr. President.
Okay. 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 I put this one.
10.
Very good.
Mr. Minister, thanks for sparing your time to TRT Turk. First of all, I would like to start with the latest developments in Libya. There has been a crackdown on rebels as of yesterday in a couple of cities, and lots of deaths are coming from there. How do you read the latest in Libya?
We are really deeply shocked from the latest development, where we have seen people dying, the violent aggression from the regime over the protesters in the streets. We repeat our firm condemnation to all kinds of violence. We are joining the international community in fully implementing all the sanctions that have been decided at the level of UN as well as European Union level. But we want to deal with the humanitarian aspects of the crisis, because Italy is participating very actively to repatriate huge numbers of people that had been flowing outside of Libya at the borders with Tunisia. We have been repatriating people to Egypt, now to Mali, and to other destinations through the military Italian planes. We sent a military ship to the port of Benghazi, bringing humanitarian aid, food, medical products, and of course also electricity devices, because they have no electricity in some hospitals in the province of Benghazi.
But still, the international community, as you said, the United Nations and the European Union, they impose sanctions already, but it is still short of preventing the humanitarian crisis. Gaddafi's forces are still bombarding it, and you forcefully spoke about against what's going on in Libya. So the situation is there, and people are still dying.
Well, the other option, which is under very deep examination, is whether to establish a no-fly zone to prevent military planes of the regime from bombarding people. But you know perfectly that to this end we should have a mandate from NATO. In some cases, European member states have been asking for having a Security Council mandate. And you know what the Arab League said publicly: please abstain from overflying with military planes from Western countries in the midst of the Arab world. So these are suggestions to be taken into serious consideration. In case, should it be a mandate adopted from NATO, Italy already said we have military bases that can be at disposal of that.
But it seems as if it's going to take some time to pass that resolution, and still the violence is going on there. So you have very, very close ties with Libya. And other than that, of course, you are acting within the European Union and international community. Would you launch some other initiative?
Well, frankly speaking, we said we can no longer consider an interlocutor a regime with shooting its own people and killing the population. That said, frankly speaking, either we choose a military way or we have to strengthen diplomatic initiatives. But diplomatic initiatives so far got no results.
So you have previously said that there were no accurate reports from Libya, and you were trying to launch diplomacy. So at the end of the day, there is no diplomacy, but there is still war. Would the Western world or the international community consider launching a military action at the end of the day?
Well, an emergency action would be a good initiative, provided that, of course, United Nations take the initiative. We cannot accept have unilaterally or bilaterally or multilaterally without a clear UN mandate, even though we decide for a humanitarian emergency action, humanitarian, I would say, insurance action that would need UN mandate.
What is the emergency in your point of view? Isn't that emergent again already?
Well, there is, but there is no consensus. And since we should have, in a forum like UN, a consensus which is necessary to adopt, we have not yet that consensus.
Italy buys 25% of its oil and 12% of gas from Libya, and you've previously said that you unilaterally suspended all of that supply. So is it already started working? And
yes, it is. We've already replaced gas supply and oil supplies with other countries like Algeria, Russia, Gulf states. We fortunately have a good diversification.
How about the Libyan Sovereign Wealth Funds? I mean, it has stakes in UniCredit, in engineering firms.
Well, there is an ongoing discussion at European level. We will be fully implementing all the sanctions. For the moment, as you know, the sanctions are related to individuals, not to entities. But should Europe will agree on other kind of sanctions, Italy will be fully implemented. We have no problem.
How about the agreement you struck with Libya in 2008?
Well, the agreement is signed between the two states, but the government signed, and since we have no longer a viable interlocutor, this agreement is suspended. We are not implemented, they are not implemented.
You have received 6,000, if I'm not mistaken, refugees from Tunisia when the revolts broke out, and now Libya, 180,000 people are fleeing the country. And you are quite disturbed by the fact that all of the refugees are going to your country, and you've made statements with regard to that. What are you going to do?
Well, it is necessary to relaunch an European perspective to manage migratory flows. Europe cannot live alone, Italy or Greece or Malta. We should have more communitarian approach. We are absolutely ready to face the first impact of a potential migrant flows, but in a mid-long term, we should have European assistance. We are ready to face the first impact, but frankly speaking, it's not manageable to have, I would say, 60, 50,000 migrants at once coming to the Italian shores.
So Gaddafi, when he appeared on state TV 3 times, he accused Al-Qaeda of instigating these revolts. And you've previously said that in the eastern part of the country an Islamic emirate has been set up. Is it true?
Well, we have seen people proclaiming an Islamic emirate in East Libya. But there has been for a very long time the establishing of, I would say, radical Islamic cells in the province of Benghazi. But I don't believe that Al-Qaeda is behind this revolution.
So after these all revolts in the North African countries, Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya, and some other Middle Eastern countries, do you think that the European Union or yourself, your country, should review its policies towards these nations?
Well, we should, by helping people, I would say, and their aspiration for civil liberties. We have to help while avoiding to put on the table pre-cooked solution or to dictate what they should do and what they shouldn't. We have to, first of all, respect their national ways to liberty, to democracy. We shouldn't impose our democracy's model. We shouldn't export our democracy's model, but we can help. And my idea is to launch a political pact for Mediterranean, having a political component, a stability component, but which is based on equal partnerships. If we don't respect their dignity, they will not be attracted.
But so far the European countries turned a blind eye to the dictatorships in those countries. And can we say, are you going to adopt a U-turn policy?
In the light of the latest development, we should learn from the mistakes made in the past. We made a lot of mistakes, for example, by putting a lot of obstacles to the free circulation of the younger generation. I've been proposing for a very long time an Erasmus project to promote students and universities exchange without results because we were afraid of the circulation. We shouldn't be.
What do you foresee for Libyan leader Gaddafi? Will he be stepping down soon, or will you get in touch and dialogue with him?
I think we will not consider, neither now nor in the future, that person as a possible interlocutor. But I cannot say what will happen about himself.
And lastly, is Italy concerned about its investments in Libya? Because
we are not. There will be a future for Libya. There will be a new Libya. Italy loves the Libyan people. This is the problem. This is the reality.
Do you think that the Libyans love Italians?
Yes, I do.
How about the 5 billion investment in 20 years? Is it still in effect?
Well, now it is suspended, as I said. But when there will be a new Libya, a new interlocutor, it is not suppressed, it's not cancelled, it's just suspended, ready to start again.
And lastly, are you hopeful that Libya will bring up a new interlocutor, as you said?
A new?
A new leader, let's say.
We will be helping the Libyan people. It will depend on Libyan people who will be the future leader of Libya. It is not depending on Europe, on Brussels, who should be the leader in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Libya, everywhere. These are the legitimated aspirations of people which we have to support.
So this time Europe will leave it to the Libyans to elect their own leader, right?
We should, everywhere.
Okay. Mr. Minister, thank you very much for answering our questions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Very good.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
bye-bye.
Again. Bye-bye.
All the best. Bye.
I will send you an email and I'll keep you updated. Thank you very much. Thank you.